Welcome to Flat Broke Episode 2. It is the day before payday. Not a crisis, not a disaster, just Tuesday. And yet, you know your account balance without checking it. You have known it since yesterday morning when you paid for the parking. You have been doing the math in your head since then, quietly, automatically, the way you have been doing it for years. Gas, 3/4 full. You are not filling it today. That can wait until tomorrow. The coffee machine at work is broken. The coffee shop is $4. You walk past it. The supermarket checkout. You put back the brand name pasta. The store brand is fine. It has always been fine. You do not need to explain this to anyone. And the entire time, nobody knows. You look fine. You are fine. It is just Tuesday. But here is what is happening inside your head. A constant, low-level calculation, a background process running every hour of every day, consuming mental energy that should be going somewhere else. Tracking every transaction, measuring every choice, managing with extraordinary precision and zero recognition a financial system that gives you almost no margin to work with. 76% of the working population does this every single week. And when it occasionally slips, when the car needs something, when the pharmacy bill is higher than expected, when the kids need something for school, the entire calculation collapses because there is no buffer. There never was one. Not because you are irresponsible, because building a buffer when you have nothing left at the end of the month feels exactly like being told to save water while you are drowning. In the next 9 minutes, we are going to solve that. Not with philosophy, not with cut the coffee, with a specific mechanical system that builds a buffer out of money you are already spending, without requiring you to earn more or spend less. Stay for step 3. It is the one that actually works.
Here is what we are covering. First, why the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle is almost impossible to escape by trying harder. Second, why every piece of advice you have already received does not work. Third, the one mechanical system that interrupts the cycle regardless of your income. Here we go.
Part 1. The physical problem.
Here is why the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle is so difficult to escape. It is not a spending problem, it is a physics problem. A person spending 100% of their income every month will continue spending 100% of their income every month. An object in motion stays in motion. Not because they lack discipline, but because the system they operate inside was designed to consume exactly 100% of whatever they earn. Think about it. Every time your income goes up, rent goes up, groceries cost more, the car needs something, the utility bill adjusts. The system expands to absorb every additional dollar with extraordinary efficiency. Economists call this lifestyle creep, but that name implies choice. It implies you consciously chose to upgrade when the money came in. Most people did not choose anything. The costs simply arrived. And here is the mechanism that keeps the cycle locked. When you have no buffer, every unexpected cost becomes a debt. A $300 car repair you do not have becomes $300 on a card at 24% interest. Every shock creates debt. Every debt requires a payment. Every payment reduces next month's available cash, which means next month you have even less margin than before. The cycle does not just continue, it tightens. And the only way to escape it is not to try harder inside it. It is to interrupt it once, with a small amount, at the right moment, using the right mechanism. Before we get to that mechanism, let's address the advice you have already received, because you have received it multiple times. Just save more.
Part 2. Why the advice fails. This advice is given by people who have never had to choose between filling the gas tank and buying groceries on the same day. It assumes there is money left at the end of the month. For 76% of the population, there is not. Automate your savings. This works, but only if you have enough margin that the automatic transfer does not trigger an overdraft fee. If you are operating at zero, automation does not help you. It charges you a fee for trying. Cut unnecessary expenses. This is the most insulting one, not because it is wrong, but because it assumes the person in this cycle has unnecessary expenses left to cut. Most people already cut. They are not buying luxury items. They are buying store-brand pasta and half tanks of gas and walking past $4 coffee shops. The problem is not the coffee. The problem is structural, and structural problems require structural solutions, not behavioral ones. Part 3. The 1% Buffer Protocol. Here is the structural solution. This is not a savings plan. It is an interruption. You are not trying to save for retirement. You are not trying to build wealth. You are trying to do one specific thing. Create a gap between your income and your expenses. Even a small one,
so that the next unexpected cost does not automatically become debt. The target is not $1,000. Not yet. The target is $500, and the method is the 1% protocol. Step 1. Calculate 1% of your monthly take-home income. If you earn $2,500 per month, that is $25. If you earn $3,500, that is $35. If you earn $1,800, that is $18. This is not an amount you will feel. It is designed specifically to be unnoticeable. Step 2. Open a separate account, not at your main bank, a credit union, or a no-fee online savings account. The physical separation matters. Money held at a different institution has a 70% lower likelihood of being spent impulsively compared to money in your primary account. This is not about discipline. It is about architecture. Step 3. Transfer the 1% on payday. Not at the end of the month. Not when you have something left over. On payday. As the first transfer, before anything else. This is called paying yourself first. It is the only savings mechanism that consistently works regardless of income level, because money you never see in your main account is money you do not miss.
Step 4. Do not touch it. Not for small things. Not for things that feel urgent but are not actually emergencies. The only valid reason to withdraw is a genuine shock. The car, a health cost, something that would otherwise go directly onto a card. At $25 per month, in 12 months, you have $300. That covers the car repair. That covers the copay. That is the difference between absorbing a shock and going into debt because of one. At month 4, increase to 2%. At month 8, increase to 3%. Each increase is designed to stay below the threshold of pain. You will not feel it leave, but you will feel it when it is there. This is not a path to wealth. It is a path out of the cycle, and the cycle is what is blocking every other path.
The turn. What $500 actually buys.
Here is what $500 actually buys you. Not security, not comfort, not retirement, a decision. Right now, when something breaks, when something costs money you do not have, you have no decision. You have a debt. The choice is already made for you. Card, payment plan, loan. The system decided before you could. And here's what nobody tells you. When money gets tight, your brain starts paying a tax. Not a bank tax, not an income tax, but a mental tax. The invisible cost of carrying financial worry every single day. Harvard and Princeton researchers found that financial stress temporarily drops your cognitive function by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. That's like losing a full night of sleep, except you don't get it back in the morning. But with $500 in a separate account, for the first time in possibly years, you have a decision. You can absorb the shock without creating new debt. You can choose. That single moment of agency, that one choice that was yours, is what breaks the psychological grip of the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Research confirms that people with even a small financial buffer make measurably better decisions across every area of their lives. Not just financial decisions, work decisions, health decisions, relationship decisions. Because the background calculation, the constant low-level mental math that has been running quietly in your head for years, begins to lift. You get your brain back. That is what $500 buys. Not financial freedom, a clear head. And a clear head is where everything else begins. The next video covers the thing that is draining your account right now, silently, automatically, in amounts so small you never notice each one individually, but large enough together that they are keeping you exactly where you are. Subscribe, because every video on this channel is the same promise, the information that should have been yours from the beginning. No course, no upsell, no shame. Start with 1% this week on payday. I'm the Financial Crisis Architect, and this is Flat Broke. Subscribe if you want to learn what the educational system never taught you, and share this video with someone that needs to hear it. Until then, stay positive, and I'll see you on Tuesday.